So hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now a bit of a difference this week. What I'm going to consider this week is, can I replace the laptop I've been using long term for browsing and video editing? Can I replace that with a Raspberry Pi 4 to 2 gigabyte? Now the Acer laptop here is quite low power. It's only a Pentium N3550 processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM. But it's been doing me fine for video editing over the past year and a half. But the question I thought, I've had this Raspberry Pi for over a year now, can I use this as my daily PC? So let's see what we can do. Okay, so this is the Raspberry Pi now. It's running Raspberry Pi OS 32-bit. It's been overclocked to 2 gigahertz to give some extra performance. So let's see how general YouTube video performance is. Let's play HubNut here, see how that looks. Okay, let's set it to 720p. Let's see how we get on. That seems to be perfectly adequate video performance there, really. The odd stutter as it's buffering. But to be honest with you, I found video performance watching on YouTube to be absolutely fine. I've had no problems at all. Let's try a different video. Let's try Leap's video. See how this one goes. Let's set this to 720p as well. It's already at 720p, that's fine. But you'll notice it's probably not the fastest PC to run YouTube, but it's quite adequate for normal everyday viewing. I'm certainly quite happy with that myself. So I think we've passed the test in terms of watching YouTube videos and general web browsing. So next up is some video editing. Let's see how we get on with video editing. Okay, so with no fancy video capture devices here, so we'll just film the screen instead. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a video file, add it to a project here, and then we're going to export it in a not particularly standard format. So let's choose this one here, which is VGA NTSC 64480, high quality. Let's name that. Test 2. And let's export the video. Okay, all done. That was about 1 minute 40 seconds. So that's the old laptop done. Next we'll try the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so here's the Raspberry Pi. We started it up. Let's start up OpenShot. There we go, see how that goes. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the same file that we converted last time, put it into OpenShot on the Raspberry Pi, and that's that one there. Okay, so let's put that on the regular timeline here. Let's go to export. Let's do that's testing. So it's changed to VGA NTSC, quality high, and let us export the video now. Okay, all done. That took 1 minute and 22 seconds compared to 1 minute and 40 for the Acer laptop. So that's quite good actually. I'm quite happy with that. So this is the preview pane on the laptop. And as you can see, this is in real time. This is no preview at all. It's totally unusable as a preview and makes editing really difficult simply because the preview pane just doesn't work and is so slow. So this is a preview of the same video on the Raspberry Pi. As you can see, it's totally smooth and usable, absolute opposite of the laptop. So here's one thing that's been fixed on OpenShot on both the laptop and on the Raspberry Pi. You can now increase the volume of clips above 1 in case you have a particularly quiet clip. So here we are a couple of months later. So I've only been using the Raspberry Pi for the past few months. So as you can see, I've turned it into a one-piece PC here. So what I've done, mounted the Raspberry Pi on the back on a plate of wood attached to the VESA slot. I've also mounted a Crucial 120GB SSD. It's now booting off the SSD and it's running 64-bit Raspberry Pi OS. And I have to say the performance really is quite impressive. It was adequate running 32-bit Raspberry Pi OS, but 64-bit is really quite impressive, really works really well. So that's how I've been getting on, and that's today's video, and I'll keep you updated on how well the Raspberry Pi 4 runs.